Hello, boys and girls. We are here to discuss everyone's favorite topic, and I'm speaking of promotion and relegation, a topic that tears us to shreds, that draws a line in the sand. It makes people talk about the positives and the negatives. I won't budge. They won't budge. I work in Major League Soccer. I'm fine with not having promotion relegation. I would like to have it one day. I think it is valuable in the sense that you would have an American sport, something that no other league has. And maybe if MLS did have promotion relegation, and they're not ready for it now, they're not ready, but if they had it in 10, 15 years and other sports would go, wow, that's amazing. We could create drama. I'm all for it. But I don't want to be the anti-pro rel, arguing with the pro rel, because I've watched this sport for 30 years continuously. And promotion relegation has given me so many great memories. So we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. I don't know if it's ugly, but we like to throw that in here on the Soccer OG. Like and subscribe us here. Let us get these numbers up. We're looking for 5,000 subscribers. We're going to be really upping the ante as we head towards the Club World Cup and really upping the ante as we get to the World Cup. So join the conversation. Leave a comment. I will be happy to open discourse with you. If you have a question, if you want to argue, I am all for it. I will type away. Let's get after it. So this weekend was really amazing in many ways because we had so many incredible promotion stories, some heartbreaking relegation stories that we have to see in the prism to see, why it is good. Sometimes it's not good. Sometimes it really destroys a club. So you got to take the good with the bad. And I will go through that here. And this is in no way to say we should get rid of it, because it is baked in there and, you have to swim or sink. And the end of the season is illuminated. There is no doubt about it. Just looking at some of the positives. Coming up here, we're going to have the EFL Championship playoff. And eventually we'll have the final, the world's richest game, or whatever they call it. And two teams playing to get in the Premier League. That's unbelievable. I am dialed in. I love that game. There is so much drama in it. That is the height of promotion relegation, because the team that qualifies for the Premier League is going to get, it's generally all downhill after that. But that game, after a long, arduous season, is the payoff. Can't wait to see the semifinals. We are going to have, Sheffield United. We will have Leeds and Burnley have been promoted directly. And then you have Sheffield United, Sunderland, Coventry, and Bristol City got in there. Bristol City. We'll be pulling for Coventry because they have Haji Wright. We got Brendan Aronson in Leeds as an American to come in the Premier League. Let's get more Americans in there. That's what I'm here for. If you follow the channel, that is priority one. So we have that playoff game. We discussed in my last video the incredible story of Wrexham. There is no diminishing what those guys have done, and now they are going to be in the EFL Championship, and they have a reality show, and they have a conversation. They're going to build new fans. I was talking to some colleagues. What a great idea for Wrexham would be to bring in some American players. My colleague Brian Dunseth suggested getting Matt Turner, the goalkeeper. Makes a lot of sense. And bringing in Diego Luna, the great young American player in MLS, to go to Wrexham. Build American fans. That's exciting. If you get those guys, I will start watching Wrexham games. Might even start pulling for them. Wrexham was a great story. Birmingham City, the team that finished ahead of Wrexham, set a new world record, that's how they classified it, in points in a season. 111 points, and that topped the team in Japan and somewhere else. I should have that. Should have done my proper research. It's 46 games, but that's pretty remarkable. Wrexham in the lower divisions had 111 points. That's just dominant. And, that is worth applauding. That's hard to do. So Birmingham City, giving them a lot of credit, and that is the team next year to keep an eye on. I don't think Wrexham or Birmingham are going to get promoted, but I think Birmingham, with the money they have spent and the foundation that they have set, are going to make it interesting. I think they're going to be somewhere in the top 10. I think Wrexham will probably be 14th, 15th, maybe a little higher. So that's an interesting story to tell. In Germany, Hamburg is probably going to come up a year after St. Pauli came up. And that means we have the Hamburg Derby. Great news. St. Pauli not safe yet, but it's looking pretty good, which is a great story with regards to promotion because they got promoted last season. They are not a team that has tons of finances and money behind them. They do okay, and it looks like they are going to survive in the Bundesliga at least another year. They also brought in James Sands, an American player who got injured. Hopefully he or another can hang on there because there is an American connection somewhat there in St. Pauli. In French football, Paris FC are going to come up, and they will be in the first division with PSG for the first time since 1979. And I'm sure you've seen the images out there of how close these two stadiums are. They are separated by a thread of tooth floss. I mean, they're closer than the two stadiums of Avellaneda where Racing and Independiente play. There's a handful of clubs that are stadiums right next to each other, and the aerial shots are unbelievable. This one in Paris, certainly at the top of the list. And that is great news for French football because PSG I think they're going to lift the European trophy, and they need a new rival. French teams are doing better across the board. We've seen some upticks in the teams, and Paris FC with some very deep pockets we're hearing might be able to make a push into the top 10 in Ligue 1, and that's a game that all of a sudden we have to tune in. A Parisian derby. Brilliant. I love it. Great story in English League 2. Bradford City. I'm old enough to remember when Bradford City was in the Premier League. I think that was 1999. They had Dean Windass, the Bantams, an unlikely team in the Premier League, as we would discover later. They would start the free fall afterwards. But they used to be coached by Phil Parkinson, who's now at Wrexham. Phil Parkinson was the last guy to get them promoted. But they are moving up to League One, a last-gasp victory in the matchup that avoided the playoff positions, which means direct promotion. So they're coming up to League One. There was a game. It wasn't the final game they had, but in this fourth division of England where they drew 23,000 fans. That is excellent. Great business. Congratulations to Bradford City. And then you have Pisa, the beautiful city of Pisa in Tuscany with the Leaning Tower. And I'm seeing these photos of the stadium. By the way, I was in, and I took the best photo of the Leaning Tower. You know, people all try to doctor like they're holding it or doing whatever. I took the best one. I nailed it. And I had no idea that the stadium was there. My tour guide told me, this is the tower, this is the cathedral, and I didn't want to spend the 20 euros to go to the top of the tower where you could see the football stadium. And if you're a soccer nut like I am, I can't believe I missed that. And apparently, people say if you go to the top of the tower, you see the stadium, it's unbelievable. So Pisa is coming up to Serie A, where they will join Como, who are going to stay up. That was, Como 1907, who were able to stay up when other teams keep dropping, yo-yo teams. And who knows? I don't think Pisa are going to have the success that Como did, but it's good to have them back. The Leaning Tower, baby. I'm sure one of the most visited towns in Italy. I mean, if you're in Tuscany, if you're visiting Florence, you go to Siena and you go to Pisa. I think that's what the tour guides say. That's what Rick Steves would tell you to do. Good old Rick Steves. So a lot of great stories there. But for all the people that tell you that promotion relegation is the one-all end-all, it'll solve every football problem everywhere, that is not true. Just ask Luton Town. Luton Town, who are in the Premier League last season, unlikely team in the Premier League. They did pretty well, all things considered. But they had to spend £10 million for the upkeep of their stadium. They had to spend £25 million in transfers just to make a push to stay up. But really, that is not going to compete with the other teams. But that is the limit that they could spend. They got relegated. They got in the red. And now they got relegated the very next season from the EFL Championship to League One. And there is we remember those images of them at Kenilworth Lane where the stadium is built into the neighborhood. The visiting team had to come through a front door of someone's house to get into their locker room. Beautiful stuff. But their efforts to get in the Premier League has decimated this team. And will they get back up? I don't think so. Where are they going to find money? They're like this. We had that thrill of the playoff and making it into the Premier League, but now what? It's a cautionary tale. This happens all the time. Promotion comes at a cost if you can't stay up. And staying up is going to be harder and harder. In the English Premier League, the second straight year, the 3 promoted teams that came up are going right back down. I spoke to a friend who is a bookmaker in England, and he said that Leeds and Burnley are earmarked to come back down. The only club that is close to them right now on the money that could be a relegation candidate is West Ham. And you get the feeling West Ham, which is my club, are going to make improvements because they have a lot more money than Leeds and Burnley. And everyone else, like Manchester United's 14th. Leeds and Burnley aren't going to catch them. Tottenham Hotspur's in 16th. They had an all-time worst season. They're going to get better. Wolves is good. Crystal Palace is good. Brentford's out here throttling, scoring 4 goals against Manchester United. The teams that are baked into the Premier League aren't coming back down. It's changed. Money has changed promotion relegation. And you've got to see it. If you don't want to believe it, you're burying your head in the sand. So Leeds, Burnley probably coming back down. And I can tell you whoever wins that promotion playoff, whether it's Sheffield United or Sunderland or Bristol City or whoever that team is. Is it Bristol City? They're going to come back down immediately too. Over in Germany, 2 teams came up. Holstein Kiel is going to come right back down. The 2 promoted teams in Spain are coming back down. Espanyol, who are a bigger club, are able to stay up. But the yo-yo stuff is in full effect. I don't think it's going to change in the Premier League if we focus on England if teams are going to stay up. So getting promoted is a problem. Unless you have a crap load of money like Birmingham City. And that's the other story here. If you want to talk about romance, and Wrexham has some romantic elements to it, and Bradford City, Birmingham City had a $15 million transfer. Birmingham City has deep pockets, and that is why they're going like this. Paris FC, acquired by French billionaire Bernard Arnault. They are going to have, and Red Bull have a $100 million budget next season to buy players. They had an operating cost of $30 million. That's going to triple. That is going to allow them to stay up. It's not the romance of promotion relegation. It is money. And while I understand that that is required, I mean, we're talking about massive amounts of money. Como have a $47 billion owner, Jarum, the Indonesian cigarette. It's like the richest family in Indonesia. They own Como. They have money upon money upon money that they can throw at this. They are not going to come down. Pisa, foreign ownership. This foreign ownership has changed promotion relegation. And you can be sitting there saying, oh, the romance of all of this. Isn't it beautiful? It's beautiful because American owners and Indonesian owners and French owners and owners from the Far East are dropping money, and from Saudi Arabia. That is what's making these teams come up and stay up. And if you don't have the big foreign investment, you're not going to stay up. I'm just bringing this up to you because it is doctored promotion relegation in the modern game. If you're promoted, you don't have the big ownership, you're going to be like Luton Town. I take my hat off to Burnley. By the way, I don't know if you saw this. We've got to stop doing this. There was the video that I don't mind Natasha Bedingford, who had the song Unwritten. She was in the Burnley locker room and they're all singing it and all the guys knew the song. I don't mind that happening. But I have an issue with is every place, every network showing that video. We look like it's not a good look. It's not a good look. That song is very lame, and that woman's made some really horrible songs. I don't want to poke fun at her because I don't have a problem with that. But everyone's showing, look how cool this is about soccer. It's not cool. People in other sports in the States are laughing at us when they see that. I'm just telling you. So there you have it. I wanted to make this video. And again, I'm not poo-pooing anything here. There are good stories and there are bad ones. But don't tell me the promotion relegation is the one-all end-all and it will solve everyone's problems, because there's too many teams who have problems because of it. And the ones that do well have deep pockets. That is the difference. The Soccer OG. Like and subscribe. Let's get the subscriber count up. Talk to me about promotion relegation. Again, I want to see it come to our shores. Not now, but soon. And let's see maybe how we can make it a better apparatus down the road.